Aloha everyone, welcome to today's yoga class. Today we have a 30-minute power yoga class that is the second of a 10-class series. There are no props needed for today's class other than your yoga mat. But again, you may need some water for afterwards as we're probably going to get hot and sweaty here. Remember to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment at the end of class letting me know how it goes, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started. I'll see you on the mat. So for today's class, we're going to be just needing our yoga mat, and if you want some water, you're more than welcome to have some water with you by your side. So with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started in any comfortable seated position. If it's accessible, you can sit on top of the legs, just allowing ourselves to open through the fronts of the feet. Bring the hands, palms facing down on top of the thighs, just finding anywhere where you're finding a comfortable seated position to fully arrive into your body. And just taking a moment to allow yourself to lengthen through the spine, allowing the shoulders to roll back and down maybe a few times. It's like bringing the chin in towards the chest, lengthening through the back of the neck. And gently closing the eyes here. So we're going to take the next 30 minutes to allow ourselves to fully drop into the present moment, to synchronize with our breath. So we're going to start off by taking a few clearing breaths together, just clearing out the lungs of any stale air. So with an inhale, we're going to fill up through the nose, filling up the lungs. Opening the mouth, exhale, side out, release. Twice more, big inhale, filling up the lungs. Opening the mouth, exhale, side out, release. Once more, inhaling, filling up the lungs. Opening the mouth, exhale, side out. And then allowing the breath to just flow naturally for a moment here. Starting to draw your awareness inwards into your body, into your breath. Just taking some natural inhales and exhales throughout the body. If Ujjayi Pranayama is in your practice, you're more than welcome to do that by placing the tip of the tongue on the upper palate, slightly constricting through the back of the throat. So it should sound like an oceanic sounding breath. So it's kind of like a... Just allowing that breath to flow naturally here. If you're attempting your Ujjayi Pranayama, just slightly constricting through the back of the throat. And just giving yourself a moment to fully settle into your breath here. Just feel yourself grounding down into the earth, whatever points of contact are making connection with the earth here. And we'll take 3 more full breaths just like this. Two more. One more. Beautiful. From here, we're going to find our way into our tabletop pose. So just coming onto all fours here, allowing the wrists to come underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. With our inhales, we're going to bring the belly down, gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, rounding the upper back, coming into cat. Inhaling, belly down, gaze up. Exhaling, rounding into cat. Once more, inhaling, belly down, gaze up. Exhaling, rounding into cat. Inhale, find your way back into a neutral pose. Exhaling here. Inhale, we're going to extend the right leg back. Exhaling, knee to nose, rounding through the upper back. Inhale, extend that right heel back, drive it back. Exhale, knee to nose, round the upper back. Once more, inhale, extend the right heel back, create length. Exhale, connect, knee to nose. Adding the left arm, inhale, left arm, right leg up. Exhale, connect knee to elbow. Inhaling, extend, create length. Exhale, squeeze and round. Last one, inhale, extend, long here. Exhale, elbow to knee, rounding through the upper back, squeezing the knee towards the nose, rounding, rounding, rounding. And then release that down. Gently sway the hips from side to side here. Or taking some small circles, just opening into the hips, opening into the wrist. Wiggling some movement into the spine, into the body. And then finding our way back into our tabletop pose. We're going to switch sides here. So with our inhale, left heel back, length and long. Exhale, knee to nose, round. Inhale, extend, left heel back. Exhale, knee to nose. Once more, inhale, really drive that left heel back. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding through the upper back. Inhale, extend, right arm, left leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen both sides. Exhale, squeeze and round. Last one, inhale, extend. Exhaling, connect, squeeze and round, rounding through the upper back, actively pressing the left hand into the earth, connecting the knee to the elbow, rounding through that upper back. Beautiful, and releasing it down, gently swaying the hips from side to side here. Maybe taking some circles over the wrist, just feeling yourself starting to generate some internal heat here. Beautiful, and then finding our way back into our tabletop pose. With our next inhale, we're going to extend the right knee out towards the side, so kind of like a cactus leg. Exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, knee out towards the side, reach back through that right heel. Exhale, bring it back in. One more inhale, right knee to the right side. Exhale, bring it back in. Adding a cactus arm through the left side. Inhale, open out to each side. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, knee to elbow. Last one, inhale, open wide. Exhale, knee to elbow. Squeeze and hold here again, squeezing everything in towards midline. See if you can squeeze the muscles around the spine, rounding through the upper back. And then releasing that here. Taking again a little bit of a U-shaped movement through the hips, maybe taking slightly bigger circles, just doing whatever feels good to you in your body here. Beautiful, and then finding your way back towards center, we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So with our next inhale, left knee opens out towards the left. Exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, left knee opens out towards the side, reach back through that left heel. Exhale, bring it back in. Once more, inhale, reach that left knee out towards the side. Exhale, bring it back in. Adding the right arm. Inhale, left leg, right cactus arm. Exhale, squeeze in towards midline. Inhale, open up wide, create space. Exhale, squeeze it in. Last one, inhale, lifting up, opening up here. Exhale, squeeze and round, squeezing everything in towards midline, actively pressing that left hand into the earth, rounding through the upper back, and then releasing it back down. Beautiful, gently swaying the hips from side to side here, getting a little bit more movement. And then before we transition into our plank pose, we're going to come into a puppy dog pose. So keeping the hips stacked over the knees, melting the hands forward and in front, allowing the chest to melt down towards the earth. Making sure that the fingers are spread nice and wide here, actively grounding down through the hands. Keep lifted through the sit bones. You can add a little bit of a bouncing movement here, just feeling yourself opening through the back of the heart space. Beautiful. And then rolling it back up one vertebra at a time. We're going to meet in our plank pose. So tucking the toes under, lifting the hips up. We're going to meet in our first plank pose of the day. You can always modify here by either lowering the knees. You can keep the knees hovering. You can always bring the hands, palms facing down, fingers facing towards yourself. We're only going to be here for a few breaths, just really feeling the heat starting to circulate throughout our body.
settling into a smooth and rhythmic breath. See if you can actively press the hands into the earth, making sure that we're rounding through that upper back as best as we can, creating space through the back body. See if you can bring a slight tuck of the chin in towards the chest, lengthening through the back of the head. Actively engaging the core. Feel your belly button pressing against the spine. Abdomen's engaged. See if you can slightly tuck the tailbone under, thrusting the hips a little bit forward, and keep yourself active through the legs, stable through the toes. We'll only be here for 3 more full, nourishing breaths. How still can you be in this pose? Even in these power-generating, heat-generating postures, we want to make sure that we're still calm and present through the breath, through our awareness. Beautiful, last full breath here. And then if your hands are facing towards yourself, bring them facing forward once again. And then with an inhale, we're going to roll all the way forward, shoulders over wrists. And then as we exhale, we're going to lower down onto our bellies as slowly as we can. How slow can you go? Beautiful. Once you make your way all the way down onto your belly, point the toes behind you, keeping the chin onto the earth. Interlace the fingers behind the back, squeezing the back of the shoulder blades together, coming into our locust pose with an inhale, lifting the legs up, squeezing the back of the shoulder blades together as we lift up through the upper body. Holding here for a few breaths. Zipper the legs up, keep pointing out through the toes, engaging through the low back, squeezing the back of the shoulder blades together, wringing out any tension between the shoulder blades. Keep opening through the front body, expanding through the collarbones, slightly tucking the chin in towards the chest to lengthen through the crown of the head. Can you lift a little higher here? We'll be here for 3 more breaths. So again, in today's practice, it's a little bit more of a slow moving class, and we're holding poses for a little bit longer, developing strength and power in that way. Last breath here. 1 more inhale. And then exhale, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows next to the side ribs. With your next inhale, pressing yourself up into a full cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, hips back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Give yourself a moment here to settle into your downward facing dog. Taking a moment to wiggle out the body, pedal out the feet, just taking any organic, natural movements that feel good to you here. As you breathe into this pose, just make sure that the fingers are spread nice and wide, actively gripping that earth through the hands here. And then as you settle into your downward facing dog, with an inhale, we're going to roll forward 1 vertebrae at a time, coming into our plank pose. Exhale, use your core to send the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, rolling forward 1 vertebrae at a time, undulating through the spine into your plank. Exhale, use the core, sending you back, downward facing dog. 2 more, rolling forward 1 vertebrae at a time, like a wave rippling throughout your body. And then as you exhale, engage the core, send the hips back, downward facing dog. Beautiful, last one. Inhaling, rolling all the way forward into your plank, shoulders over wrist. And then exhaling, hips back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. From here, we're going to walk the feet up to meet the hands meeting in a forward fold at the front of our mat. Feet hip distance apart. You can grab a hold of the elbows. You can sway from side to side, front and back. Just giving ourselves a moment to decompress through the spine. Taking a rock forward and back if that feels good. And then releasing the hands down towards the earth. With an inhale, we're going to come up halfway flat back, lengthen the spine. Exhaling, forward fold. Twice more. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Exhaling, forward fold. Once more, inhale, halfway lift, shoulders away from ears, lengthen the back of the neck. Exhaling, melt and fold here. Inhaling, we're going to roll up one vertebra at a time. Hands reach up overhead. Exhaling, hands to prayer in front of the heart. Beautiful. Inhaling, reaching up, hands up, lengthen the spine, gaze up. Exhaling, hinge and fold, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhaling, we're going to step back into our plank this first time around. Rolling forward, back into our plank, making sure that the shoulders are over the wrists. From here, we're going to lift the left toes to hover 6 inches off the mat. Notice the remainder of your body activated, present here. See if you can maybe come onto the right fingertips. Active through the core, squeezing everything in towards midline. Maybe that right hand starts to hover. Stay active through the core, stable through the core, engaging through the muscles, reaching the right fingers forward, reaching that left heel back. 2 more breaths here, you're doing great. And then connecting knee to elbow, super slow motion, lots of body awareness here. Squeeze and hold for 3, 2, 1. Release the right hand, left foot down. Take some sways forward and back here, side to side. Beautiful. Then finding your way back into your plank pose. So you got to do the second side. So coming onto, bouncing off the left, both hands in the left foot, starting to lift the right toes to hover 6 inches here. Again, find a sense of stability through the remaining part of the body. And then come onto the left fingertips here. Present with the breath. Staying here, or maybe lifting that left hand, reaching the left fingers forward, driving that right heel back. Stay active through the core. Continue lengthening through the spine and the crown of the head for 3. Reach a little longer for 2. You got this for 1. And then squeezing knee towards elbow, finding stability, finding a single point of focus to breathe on, rounding through the upper back, engaging through the core for 3, for 2, for 1, releasing it back down. Great job, everyone. With an inhale, rolling forward, shoulders over wrists. As we exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, hips back. Downward facing dog. With an inhale, we're going to extend the right leg back, 3-legged dog. And then as we exhale, we're going to stack the right hip over the left here. Lengthening through the right side body. You can take some ankle circles through this right side. You can take some hip circles. And then just switching direction of your circles. We're going to step that right foot all the way back. Coming into your wild thing. Keep opening through the heart. Reaching the right fingertips forward and in front, actively pressing down through the left hand. Then with an inhale, we're going to dip the hips down low, sink them all the way to hover. Exhale, thrust the hips up. Inhale, hips come down. Exhale, hips up. Last one, inhaling, hips down. Exhaling, hips up. Inhaling, leaning back in our 3-legged dog. Exhaling, right knee, right elbow, squeeze. Inhaling, extend, 3-legged dog. Exhaling across, right knee, left elbow. Inhaling, extending, 3-legged dog. Exhaling, knee to nose, rounding through the upper back. Stepping the right foot through. Lowering the left knee. Pressing down to lift up, coming into your Anjaneyasana here. Just taking a moment to charge it through the legs. To breathe into the left hip flexors. Scissoring the thighs together. Feel yourself rooting down through the heel of that right foot. Continue lengthening through the spine. Remaining stable through the low half of the body. We're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. As we inhale, opening through the front of the heart. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. You can keep the chin tucked in towards the chest. Or if it's accessible through the neck, you can open up through the front of the throat. Breathing here for 2 more breaths. Beautiful. And then with an inhale, reaching the hands up, lengthening through the spine. And then as we exhale, lowering the left hand on the inside of the right foot, lifting through the right knee. We're going to twist over towards our right side. Take a moment here to again scissor the legs together. Keep reaching the crown of the head forward and in front. Spiraling that right shoulder on top of the left. Maybe going for the half bind here, reaching the right hand back for the inside of the left thigh. Send some breath here, oxygenating the muscles. And then releasing whatever you have, framing the hands down towards the earth. With an inhale, we're going to press up, coming into our high crescent lunge. Lengthen through the spine, strong through the legs, reaching the crown of the head forward and in front. Maybe adding a slight back bend here, lengthening through the spine, lifting up through the ribs, drawing the shoulder blades back and down, shoulders next to the ears. One more breath. Beautiful. And with your next exhale, hands release down, step the front foot back as you flow through your vinyasa here. Beautiful, yogis. We got one more side. With our next inhale, left leg back, three-legged dog. And then as we exhale, we're going to stack the left hip on top of the right here, creating some length through the left side body. Feel yourself opening up through this side. And taking some ankle circles, hip circles, whatever you did on the other side. Just making sure that we're strengthening the body while simultaneously opening and creating space. Using the heat in our favor here. And then stepping that left foot all the way back. We're going to meet in our wild thing. Shining the heart open. Grounding and strong through the right hand. Beautiful. Coming into our hip dips with an inhale. Dip the hips down low. With an exhale, lift the hips up. Inhale, dip the hips low. Exhale, lift the hips up. Last one. Inhale, dip the hips down low. Exhale, lift the hips up. Inhale, we're going to be back in our three-legged dog, creating length here. Exhaling, left knee to left elbow, squeeze. Inhaling, extending left leg back. Exhale across to the right elbow. Inhaling, extending left leg back. Exhaling, knee to nose, squeeze and round. Then gently step the left foot through, lowering the right knee, pressing down to lift up. Low crescent lunge here. Taking a moment to settle into your breath. Notice all the points of contact between your body and the earth. Make sure that you're grounding down through that left heel, anchoring down through the left big toe and the left pinky toe, while also grounding down through the right knee and the right toes. Keep scissoring the legs together, squeezing them in towards midline. Feel this activation through the low half of the body. And then taking the opposite interlace behind the back. With an inhale, opening the front of the heart, drawing the shoulder blades back. Again, keeping the chin tucked in towards the chest if you did it on the other side. Otherwise, opening through the front of the throat, allowing the head to melt back. Stable through the low half, melting the forearm, the wrists down towards the earth. And then releasing whatever you have with an inhale. Hands reach up, lengthen. Exhaling, lowering the right hand onto the inside of the left foot, lifting the right knee up as you twist over towards the left here. Take a moment to settle into this pose. Actively scissoring the legs in towards midline, lengthening the spine, reaching long through the crown of the head, drawing that left shoulder open, keeping the left fingertips reaching up above, or if you did on the other side, going for the half bind, reaching the left arm back for the right inner thigh. Keep spiraling open through that left shoulder, steady through the breath. And then releasing whatever you have. Hands come back down towards the earth. Power up through the legs, pressing down to lift up. High crescent lunge on this side. Beautiful, yogis. Creating strength and stability through the low half of the under. Continue lengthening through the spine, picking up through the rib cage, maybe adding on a slight back bend here, picking up the spine, picking up the ribs, reaching back through the fingertips, drawing the shoulders next to the ears. Last breath here. Beautiful, and as you exhale, reaching the hands back down, stepping the front foot back as you flow through your vinyasa here. Excellent. Making your way back into downward facing dog. Take 2 full breaths here. With our next inhale, we're going to gaze forward. As we exhale, we're going to step, hop, or float our way up to the front, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhaling, melt and fold. Inhaling, rising up 1 vertebra at a time. Hands reach up. Exhaling, hands to prayer in front of the heart. Inhaling, we're going to meet in our Utkatasana chair pose. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sweating, so maybe you guys are sweating too. As we sit into our chair pose, we're going to shift weight over towards our right leg as we draw the left knee up and over, going for the single wrap or for the double wrap. Inhaling, arms come out to a T. Exhaling, left arm crosses underneath the right, setting up for our Garndasana eagle pose. Actively squeezing the thighs together, squeezing the forearms together, settling your gaze on a single point of focus. If you want to come into your seating eagle, wrapping the elbows over the knees, lengthening through the upper back as you round and create space through the low back. Beautiful. Keeping the arms as they are, unwrapping through the legs. Extend that left heel back, straightening through that left heel, finding your way into your warrior 3 with eagle arms. 2 full breaths here. Create as much length as you can through the spine, driving that left heel back, reaching the fingertips forward, and then releasing the hands down towards the earth, coming into a standing splits. Stay in your standing splits for 2 or 3 breaths. If it's in your practice, taking 2 or 3 little kicks up into your handstand. Again, this is optional, only if it's in your practice, otherwise staying in your standing splits. And then on your own time, slow and controlled, melting forward, meeting a forward fold at the front. Inhaling, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhaling, melt and fold. Inhaling, Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, hands to prayer, come to stand, take a moment. Second side, inhaling, Utkatasana chair pose. Settle into your breath. Starting to shift weight over towards the left leg, wrapping the right leg up and over, going for the single wrap or the double wrap, whatever's accessible here. Inhaling, arms come out to a T. As you exhale, wrapping the right arm underneath the left, squeezing the thighs together, squeezing the forearms together. Allow your gaze to settle at a single point of focus. On your own time, wrapping the elbows over the knees, finding your way into your sleeping eagle here. Staying grounded through that standing leg. Beautiful. Then on your own time, keeping the arms as they are, unwrapping through the legs, we're going to be in our warrior 3 with eagle arms. Keep reaching the fingertips forward, reaching back through that lifted heel, creating some length for 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. Then melting the hands down towards the earth, finding your way into a standing splits here. Stay in your standing split for 2 or 3 breaths, or if it's in your practice, taking 2 or 3 little kicks up into your handstand. Again, always optional. Staying wherever you are for 2 more breaths. And then on your own time, stepping the back foot forward, meeting in a forward fold at the front. Inhaling, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhaling, melt and fold. Inhale, we're going to walk the feet out, hips distance, wider than hips distance, and we're going to sink our butts down, coming into our yogi squat. Hands come to prayer in front of the heart here, gently rocking the hips from side to side. And then gently releasing the hips all the way down towards the earth. We're going to come to lay on our backs. We're going to lift the heels up as we bring the feet overhead, coming into our plow pose, halasana. Just taking a moment to flex through the toes. Hands can come to the back of the calves. And then just taking a moment to settle into a little bit of a forward fold here, fluttering the feet up and down. Just breathing into the hamstrings, creating some space here. Beautiful. And then drawing the knees into the chest, squeezing yourself into a little ball here. And then on your own time, opening it all up, coming into your Shavasana, your final resting pose. Just taking a few moments to open up as much space as you can on your mat. Hands can come up by your side, palms facing up, or you can bring one hand onto your chest, one hand onto your belly. And we'll take about 5 breaths together here. Allowing the breath to settle. And then staying in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like, or you're more than welcome to add on, to continue on with your own practice, serving as a warm-up for whatever you're transitioning on to next. Just taking a moment to acknowledge yourself and to honor yourself for your willingness to show up on the mat today. I thank you for your presence and your willingness to be here. The highest light in me sees and honors the highest light in each and every one of you. Namaste.